From Hannigan Pass Trailhead, I went 9.5 miles. I was out for 2 nights and 3 days. It's the 1st of September and the temperatures stayed comfortable. It was a little misty this morning, but I stayed dry for the rest of the trip. Unfortunately, the visibility was poor, but it could have been worse. There were still a few snow patches around that hadn't melted off at 3,500 feet. When I got to the wilderness at 4,000 foot elevation, the timber started to thin out a little bit, but the visibility was still limited. The clouds were moving around a lot, but they definitely weren't lifting. Occasionally you would get a glimpse of the high country. There was still a lot of water flowing in the upper slopes and the lower valleys. Where there was water, there was usually flowers abounding. As the morning warmed up, things started to dry out. And it looked like the clouds even were starting to lift. There was definitely some quality subalpine slopes around. This is what it looked like a couple days later on a clear day. Some blue sky had started to appear, and the upper slopes were coming into view. I finally got to Hannigan Camp. Even though I wasn't going to camp there, I had to go over to the meadow and see what that white stuff was over there. There was some other pretties around also. It wasn't long before I'd gotten up to Hannigan Pass. And no, I didn't take the climb to the peak. Nope, my next push was to Boundary Camp, which was just inside the park boundary. At Boundary Camp, I took a left turn here for the ridge. I had 3 more miles yet to go before I would reach camp. The clouds, you can see, were clearing up nicely. It was about 6:30 and getting late when I got my first glimpse of camp here. And right near the edge of the ridge. And that's none other than beautiful Egg Lake. I'm heading down to the lake when I see somebody heading across country out of the lake. And that's the end of the first day. And good morning. I was hard at work getting breakfast ready. A little socked in, but I was looking forward to my day trip up the ridge to the lookout. I was set up right above the lake with a beautiful view. The clouds were taking their time burning off, but I think it was lifting a little bit. By the time I was ready to hit the trail, the lake was looking good. There were flowers along that ridge. The clouds were definitely moving around, but at least I could see the upper slopes at times. I finally saw the lookout. One final push to the top. It's an active lookout, but there wasn't any ranger up there the day I was there. Quite the view.
So that's 2.2. It's a haul. That's what I did.
You can see I wasn't alone up there. After relaxing up there for a half hour, it was time to hit the trail and head back to camp. The ridge narrows up right here, and it did have a good look of the Chilliwack River drainage on the one side. On the other side is the Celestia Creek drainage. Whoops, there goes my camera. It was non-stop vistas along the ridge. It almost looked like a putting green out there in that meadowy looking parkland. These are the plants that made up the subalpine slope. And then before I knew it, I was back at camp, and the day was about over with. But there's still going to be some changing colors. And that's the end of the second day. It was a crystal clear night. And in the morning, voila, blue skies. I broke camp and was on the trail by 8 o'clock. The Copper Ridge Trail was just waiting for me up there. These hikers were following me out of the lake and up to the ridge. I've got a long 8 miles to the trailhead, but it's going to be mostly downhill, and that's a whole lot better than when I came in. The flowers were looking good with all the sun on them. There were some steep, slippery areas, but you hardly noticed it when you had such beautiful views. I don't want to miss showing you these guys. They're special in my book. They're not easily seen, but I think they're coming into view. I love these berries, and they're so good. The park is having an outdoor toilet cleaning day. Those are shovels and buckets you're looking at up there. Well, I'm moving right along. I'm not far from the trailhead now. The Forest Service trail crew is hard at work. Ruth Mountain sort of stands out in the sun there. That's what it looked like a couple days earlier. Does it look like he's tired? He is. That rifle in there was mighty delicious. I had a lot of fond memories from this trip.